Did you know that there are over 150 species of bacteria that live on our hands? Yeah, that's why it's so easy to pass infections through contact with people.
Edith, show us your hands.
What? Ew, that's so disgusting. But obviously that's not real bacteria. We actually put a special liquid on my colleagues' hands and then we shook each other's hands and that's how it transferred. But I obviously washed it off with some soap. And that's what we're trying to figure out today. One, I want to make my own soap. Secondly, because this is a science show, we want to learn how the soap works. And finally, we want to see how our soap compares to hand sanitizer. Safety first. We're going to be dealing with some pretty harsh chemicals, specifically sodium hydroxide or lye, which can be super harsh on your skin or on our surfaces. So we're going to protect that first. Ooh. So a safety tip for you, please do not use any dedicated utensils from your kitchen because these ingredients are really harmful. Another thing to note, do not use aluminum because it does react to sodium hydroxide. All right, let's get our ingredients ready. We've got our water. This is just vegetable oil that you can find in your kitchen. And this is coconut oil, which we've put in a water bath to make sure that it stays liquid. And here we have our stainless steel whisk. We have a nice brass spoon and all our non-kitchen utensils. And of course, we need our active ingredient here, sodium hydroxide. So let's begin the first part. You pour in your water into this very thick glass. It's really important after this point, just don't touch anything. It gets really hot. So pour in our water, easy. Next step, using your spoon, slowly. This is gonna cause a reaction that's gonna make it heat up and potentially remove some vapor. So you might smell something. Excellent. And once that's done, you take your whisk and you now start whisking it. Oof. Just gonna move back a little bit because of all the vapors. Basically, you'll know you're done because it's gonna change from that cloudy color to what's happening now, a bit more clear. And now we bring in the oils. Take our vegetable oil, dump it in there, boom. Our coconut oil, boom. And then take your nice mixture. It's now cooled down, don't worry about that. And pour it in slowly. And once that's in, you just keep stirring, And this begins a process called saponification. Fats and oils are so-called triglycerides. Mixing them with a strong base like lye breaks them into their components, fatty acids. These components can now form soap in combination with lye. As a byproduct, we also get glycerin, which is a skin moisturizer. And by the way, if you're concerned about the chemicals like lye in your soap, soap makers in West Africa who produce this black soap actually use natural ingredients like ash from plants and herbs in place of the lye. Now you know. Our mixture is nice and thick. And so the next step is to set it. So we've got our nice, just ordinary plastic container. You can get a mold if you want, and you just pour it nicely, gently into your container. That's good enough for me. And the next step is to take a simple towel and cover your mixture. This is going to retain the heat and ensure that the chemical reaction doesn't stop. And you put this aside away from anything that you use to eat or touch, and you leave it to set for 12 to 48 hours. And hopefully after that, you'll have soap. But just how good will this soap be? We'll have to find out at the lab. Oh, hi there, Rue. So we're at the lab today because we made what I think is soap. So I want you to have a look at it first and then assess our performance. Here it is. Just from observation, what do you think? Does it look like soap?
In the lab, we never assume. So, because this could look like water, but it ain't water.
Yeah,
so I think we'd have to test it to see whether it is actually soap.
Good idea.
Yes.
So because I'm not so sure how it turned out, I think we best put on our gloves just to be on the safe side.
Good call, good call.
Yeah, I actually made 2 batches of soap. Because actually more than 2 if I'm being honest, because it wasn't as smooth sailing as we thought.
Yeah.
So we have another batch which we can test against this one.
Cool.
And so how exactly are we going to test the soap?
So in front of us we have some wooden spoons. We'll just scoop, and with the beakers we just put in the beakers, and then we have water here, and then we'll stir so that we can see how it is, and then we're going to test it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something is happening.
Something is happening, and there are some bubbles as well. And the way to actually test it, we have pH strips here.
Yes, to test the acidity or alkalinity of a product, yourself.
Awesome. You are on point. So we'll just take some strips. Then we will dip the strips in, let it rest for a while.
Oh, I'm very glad to see green. Green is a go.
And then on our pH strips, we are going to test it against the colors that there are. But we have the different colors indicating the different numbers against the different colors.
The lower the number, the higher the acidity.
Yes.
And what we're looking for is what number?
We are looking for 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
That's the best alkaline level for soaps.
Based on what I'm seeing here, I'm very comfortable to call that an 8 to 10.
Yeah, me too. 8 to 10. I think yours is actually more over 9, 10.
Over 9, 10.
Yeah, mine is an 8, probably because didn't set for a while, didn't rest for a while. I can say we are good. So we have soap here.
Both of which are actually usable on our skin at least.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so let's see how effective it is. Now that we know it's safe, I think we
Yes.
can put it on our hands.
So I have some concoction here.
Yeah, this is gonna get really messy, and as Ruth and I do this, why don't you guys figure out how exactly soap works? Soap molecules have 2 parts, hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. Many germs have a fatty or lipid membrane. Soap's hydrophobic tail breaks apart this lipid membrane, causing the virus to fall apart. The fragments of the virus get trapped in the soap and washed away with water. So it lathers really well, but it's made my hands super dry. Do you know why that would be? Because the pH is fine.
Yeah, the pH is fine, but I think probably because it's not manufacturer, probably grade level.
Yeah.
That's why, that's why you even experience the differences between laundry soap and the soap you used for bathing.
So the soap works well, and do remember, of course, when you're washing your hands, how long are you supposed to do it for?
20 seconds.
At least 20 seconds.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So our soap works, and the last thing we needed to do before I go through my list was compare it to sanitizer. And we do have some.
Sanitizer is comprised of alcohol and ethanol mostly. So alcohol at 70% is what we actually use for sanitizers and even in the lab. So it's friendly to your skin, friendly to use. Why don't we try that? Should we try it, whether you identify your hands and then we see the differences between with the soap and the sanitizer?
Let's do that.
Okay.
When I use sanitizer, it's when I can't find obviously water and soap.
Yes.
But how effective is it as a cleaning agent?
What happens with sanitizer is when you have bacteria on your hands and germs, sanitizer kills the bacteria and germs. But what sanitizer doesn't do is it doesn't wash it away. So the dead bacteria and germs remain on your hands. Only that they are dead, but they are still on your hands.
So we had some very simple tasks to do today, and I want you to help me go through them and tell me if we did well.
Yeah.
Would you say that I've successfully made my own soap? Does that qualify as soap according to the parameters of this lab?
Yes, that qualifies as soap.
Did we find out how and why soap works?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
that.
we did. So I think we did well on that, and we've finally been able to compare it to sanitizer.
Yes, we did.
So do you think I score a 10 out of 10 today?
Yes, you do.
That's what I like to hear. You're being so serious about it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us at the lab today. I'll see you next time.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And we're back from the lab. You can tell that I'm so excited because that was honestly such a fun day and such a fun experiment. But I do want to know, knowing what you know now, would you go through the trouble of making your own soap? Let me know. And you know we love hearing from you. So let's meet up here, same place, same time. Okay?